All right, let's see if we can get this to work. Good afternoon, everybody. Today is April 16, 2019, the first day of the rest of our lives. And yes, despite hopes to the contrary from some folks, not going to say any names, Davidville, I am still alive. I survived my trip back to the United States, and I am firmly and comfortably ensconced somewhere in an undisclosed location in Central Florida. All is good. I am surrounded by family. I am surrounded by food. And I am not surrounded by cigarettes. All I have is my vape. But I have almonds. I have rare roast beef. And I have Swiss cheese. And you'll notice in the background there's some photos going up. These are some new photos, well, some old photos that we recently, when I say we, that's me and my significant other. She actually did most of the work on this. Recently edited in Lightroom on a trip we took down to Dipolog, and some photos from Silliman Boulevard. As the title suggests, yeah, I screwed up by taking China Eastern. Actually, I think this was an aberration. Actually, hold on. Let me stop right here. Make sure can everybody hear me? Is this working? Is this working? Is my audio working? I don't know what's going on. Hopefully everything's working. Yeah, I screwed up by taking China Eastern. I think it was an aberration. What happened was we sat on the tarmac for 4 hours. We all boarded the plane in Cebu, the new Mactan International Airport, which is actually beautiful. Hats off to Mactan, your new international airport there. It's freaking stunning. You guys did a fantastic job. And yeah, I think it's an 800 peso terminal fee or something to help pay for that. But it was well worth it. It's a beautiful place. Anyways, we finally get on the plane to go to Shanghai in the morning. And we sat there for 4 hours. The flight crew was not very communicative. They kept giving us food, though, which was cool. And come to find out, they said it was the weather. There's a weather problem in Shanghai. Come to find out, it was actually smog, because I guess China's got some pollution issues. The climate change stuff's going on. And smog had shut down the airport for 4 hours. So not only was our plane grounded, but planes in Malaysia and planes in Manila were also grounded. So anyways, we finally took off after 4 hours of sitting on the tarmac. It was pretty interesting. Luckily, the people around me were really cool, and we actually had a fairly good time. We didn't realize the horror that awaited us at Shanghai International Airport. So we finally take off. Yay, 4-hour flight, so that's 8 hours total. We get to Shanghai. And if you've ever been to Shanghai, it's insane. It's the most stressful, crazy travel experience I've had in my 51 years on God's green earth. Because they don't have a lot of agreements with if you got a forwarding flight with like United or American or something, you have to go through immigration. They give you a one-day visa. You got to get your luggage, and then you got to go up to United or American Airlines or whoever to check in and do all that stuff all over again. Easier said than done, because when you don't speak English, when they don't speak English, and the vast majority of the staff there didn't, and we don't speak Chinese. This was actually a humbling experience for me, because I understood for the first time my serious lack of empathy for 51 years, what foreigners that don't speak English coming to the United States feel like. That sense of isolation, that sense of helplessness, that sense of hopelessness when you can't communicate in an even basic way. And you're dealing with the Chinese. You have to get all your biometrics done, your fingerprints, voice, face, all kinds of crazy stuff. They were bouncing people back and forth. Everybody's stressed out. Everybody's going insane. Make a long story short, I finally get through. I get up to United, and it's closed. And this airport personnel, or somebody who I thought was an airport personnel, comes up and says, "Oh, sir, what's the problem?" And I explained it to her. She said, "Okay, I'll help you out. We'll get this squared away." Come to find out, I thought this was an airport employee. It wasn't. It was some independent operator, some independent ticketing agent. And they actually scammed 2 people that I know of out of thousands of dollars for forwarding flights, because everybody had missed their flights. Because we were sitting on the tarmac for 4 hours, everybody had missed their flights. And these independent ticketing agents just descended like vultures, took advantage of a really bad situation. Again, we couldn't communicate. We were all stressed out. We didn't want to get stuck in China. One guy and his Filipino wife, they paid $2,000, $1,000 each for a forwarding ticket to get out of Shanghai into the United States. I actually had my debit card out at one point. And people, yeah, might be thinking, Ned, you're such a sucker. You got, you're so easily played. But when you're in a situation like that, the stress, you can't communicate, that feeling of helplessness, hopelessness, and you know that you only got 24 hours visa, and they're telling you United Airlines, there's no United Airlines personnel in the airport at all. They're lying to you. And this probably happens at other airports around the world, this type of situation. They're lying to you. What happens is United, American, and them, they only open so many hours before the next flight. So they take time off and they go drink Diet Cokes or whatever. And they're basically scamming, they're basically hustling you. Luckily, two other people that came after we found out the situation, they had purchased tickets too, but what they did was they went to United and they got it squared away, because the airlines are accommodating. If you miss your flight, you go to whoever your next carrier is, and you tell them the situation, and they verify it and everything, and they'll give you another flight. It's not a big deal. Yeah, it was 6 or 8 hours later, and a 36-hour travel time turned into 48 or 50 hours travel time, but that's neither here nor there. Luckily, they were able to already charge back, call their credit card companies. It costs $30 to make a phone call to the United States for them to do that, and they were able to do that. So basically, long story short, we got Shanghaied in Shanghai, and it was a learning experience. It was a real stressful situation, and shout out to the final 3 survivors, the tattered remnants of China Eastern Flight MU5024. I'll never forget that flight. Screw all you crazy people. What's crazy is it actually got to the one point where these Chinese immigration supervisors were coming down and they were screaming at people. There was this really old guy, and they were just ranting and raving at him in Chinese. Nobody knew what they were saying. Nobody knew what was going on. Oh, and there was another vlogger on that same flight, and so he knows what I'm talking about, and we'll see if he does a video on this. I'm actually going to do a concise video on this travel scam, this travel hustle, because I'm sure it's not just isolated to Shanghai International. Yeah. It was freaking crazy. And I just thank God. I actually ran into this Filipina. She's a Filipino-American college student from Houston. And she's calmly pushing her luggage around. I'm at wit's end. I'm losing my freaking mind. And she's like, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? And she was so calm and collected. She became our leader. She became the leader of the final 3. Anyways, shout out to her. Sasha says, I believe Henry experienced something like that in China. Yeah, I saw something on his Facebook or something at some point, and there was a delay. I have never experienced, because I've lived in the Philippines. I haven't lived in Vietnam or Cambodia or China, any of these places where people don't speak English. So I've been spoiled. I've been lucky. Now I know the feeling that foreigners have coming to the United States that don't speak English, and how difficult and brutalizing that. And I was only there for freaking 9 hours, 10 hours. All right, 12 hours. Yeah, we were there for 12 hours. But anyway, so we finally made it through. Got to San Francisco, took a 737, the most uncomfortable plane ever. Luckily, this one didn't fall out of the sky, to Florida, and finally made it home. I'm at my family's house, my mom and dad's right now. They're at church, and so I thought I'd just do a quick live stream, take advantage. The reason I'm late in doing anything is because I've been sick, and I've had the worst case of jet lag I've ever had. I'm not sure why the jet lag is so bad this year. I'm not doing anything differently. It might be also that I got sick, and I just got over that bug yesterday. But hey, that's life. I'm taking, and I'm seeing people leaving comments, I'll get to those in a minute, I'm sorry. I'm taking China Eastern back because I have the round trip ticket, so hopefully going the other way, it'll be okay. Anton says, hey Ned, 2 trips with China Eastern through Shanghai, both were completely 100% trouble-free. Yeah, like I'm saying, I think this was an aberration. I think the smog shut down for 4 hours, and it was other planes also in Manila and also Malaysia that were not able to take off for a long time. So I do think it was an aberration. And again, the savings on these tickets, when you're looking at Korean Airlines, and I love Korean Airlines, that's my favorite plane usually for going back home. But the tickets this year were like $1,500, and the flight with China Eastern and United was $880. So it's basically half the price. And for all those people, when I posted this picture that's on the thumbnail of this, of me sitting on the plane after like 4 hours before this damn bird took off, and all the people that were commenting, "I told you so, I told you so, I told you so." Yeah, I can't do that gesture, but you know what I'm going to do. There's no worse feeling than knowing you're wrong and that you're screwed up, and then everybody else is telling you, "I told you so." Good looking out, people. Good looking out. I know who I am and I am awake. Says we never go through that airport. It's a freaking huge airport too. Oh my God. And again, everything's in Chinese, so you don't know where the shuttles are. So you're basically walking and pushing all your luggage everywhere. Boy. But I'll tell you what, I slept good when I finally got home. Yeah. Also been doing a lot of shopping this year. I haven't even looked at my bank accounts right now, but I'm sure they're pretty well drained. I bought a bunch of phones. I got some laptops, some recording gear, some guitar stuff, all kinds of shit. And I missed you. I missed you, Amazon. I missed you, eBay. And I'm so glad you're back in my life. So we're going to be doing, I'm going to have to do a Balikbayan box back to the Philippines to get all this stuff because it's not going to fit in my luggage. Also, this year, when I moved to the Philippines, my waist size was 38. Last year, my waist size was 36. This year, it's size 34. I'm basically the same size in my waist that I've been ever since I moved to the Philippines. And come to find out, because I was speaking to some folks that work at Target and Walmart, it's called vanity sizing. I guess because Americans are getting big, really big, big. They're reducing or doing something with the sizes to make people feel better about their excessive girth or whatever. And yeah, the vanity sizing, because I got a 36 and it was hanging loose on me. I'm like, wow, it's crazy. Food, yeah, loving the food, absolutely loving the food. We went to, I know this isn't high end or anything, but we went to Applebee's today, and they have this thing, the Brewster or something. It's sirloin steak, it's fried shrimp, and it's grilled shrimp, and it's mashed potatoes, and it's broccoli, and it's just a giant plate of food, and I ate it all, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. Also got the rare roast beef, also got the Swiss cheese, all the things I can't get while I'm in the Philippines, and I'm loving it. Loving it. One thing that I noticed, the lack of humidity. I've been in the Philippines almost 6 years now, 5.5, almost 6 years. And the humidity here in Florida is like 50%, 40%. And my body does not like that. I've actually had to get lotion and actually use the lotion on my skin here and stuff. And also dry mouth. It's really strange. It's really bizarre. I've never noticed it before, but this year I've noticed it. I guess we're getting into the realm of first world problems here. Yeah, first world problems. But yeah, the lack of humidity is pretty strange. IME88 says, hope you're not putting that electronics in your Balikbayan box. Why would you say that? Because I do plan on putting some laptops into my Balikbayan box. Do you know of any changes to the Balikbayan box policy? It's all used stuff. It's all these laptops are all like 3 or 4 years old, but they're nice laptops. Miguel Cruz says, I just flew that exact flight last month on China Eastern. It was brutal both ways. I'll tell you what, I like it because the longest leg, usually from Korea, from Incheon to Chicago or New York is like 14 hours, but from Shanghai to San Francisco was like 8 hours. It was a really short flight compared to 14. Yeah, that leg from San Francisco to Florida on a tiny little 737, and you're stuck next to a big Filipino, broader shoulders than me, Matter of fact, I'm always the last person on the plane because I don't like that whole rushing on thing. So I think this guy was thinking he was going to get the aisle seat next to him open so he would be able to get out there and have some leg room. He sees me and I see him and we were both like, oh. And that was like that was a 4.5 hour flight. So yeah, Emmy, why is it bad to be putting electronics in the Balik Bayan box? Because I've done it before, never been an issue. And if anybody knows of any updates on the Balik Bayan box policy, please let me know. Yeah, Courtney Saunders says, lack of humidity. When was the last time you were here, Florida, during the summer, July, August? I've never been here, July and August in Florida. Never been here. It's always April and a bit of May. And I do that for a reason, because that's summer in the Philippines. As a matter of fact, April 9th, the day I leave, this was like 4 or 5 days ago, I noticed everybody was posting like the temperature all over the Philippines, because I guess on April 9th or April 10th, the heat really hit and it was really nasty, and summer reared its ugly head. Yeah, it's beautiful. I know Sasha in particular doesn't like Florida at all, but I like Florida. It's clean. It's and the lack of humidity and the warm sun, and it's like 77, 78 degrees. It's freaking beautiful, man. It's good bike riding weather, right, Sasha? With his Hayabusa, and I got my Honda Click. Yeah. DJI Phantom 4 says, as long as it's not meth mouth. No, I got good teeth, man. I got bad hair, I got good teeth. James says, who do you ship your box with? I want to send used tools and stuff to build my house and finish it this coming spring. There's in, what is it, Leesburg? There's a Filipino store that does Balik Bayan boxes, and I'm going to ship with them. I don't know if they use Forex. I don't know who they're using. LBC, I'm not sure. And so that's that. Also smoking, and I'm going to leave you guys with this, because I know you have better things to do than watch me do a crappy-ass live stream. And I hope you're enjoying some of the photos. I haven't even been following my OBS. Look at that, sunset. That's the Polog. Pictures. I like doing, I think they call it street photography, where you're basically taking pictures of people. Sometimes they don't notice you're taking a picture, sometimes they do. Try to catch them in their natural states. That's a lot of fun. Although some people get upset when you do that. Or some people like this couple, they smile and do a little bit of posing and stuff. Filipinos, for the most part, they see you with the camera, they're going to smile, do the posing and all that stuff. Foreigners, on the other hand, when they see you with the camera and trying to get a focus on you, they'll give you the fisheye glare. They're not very happy with it. But yeah, I got my new Nikon D5500. I'm looking forward to going back and doing some more photos. There's one morning on the boulevard in Dumaguete, I did some silhouette shots with the sunrise coming up in the background. Thought some of those were pretty cool. That was the nuns that founded St. Paul. None of this and none of that. But yeah, the smoking so far is going good. I smoked for the first couple days because I had like a pack and a half of cigarettes. And then I slapped on the patch. I got the patch on right now. It's on my leg. You can't see it. I'm actually in my underwear right now. Stay calm, stay calm. And the patch and the vaping, I don't do one of those giant vape things with you look like a dragon exhaling and stuff. I just do this little Ego 510, Clearomizer, whatever it's called. It's really easy to quit smoking this way. The problem is when I go back to the stress box, that is the Philippines, and I start hanging around in the wrong place with the wrong people. Not going to say any names, Bill, David, Arnie. And you get a few, in you, and you feel like having a cigarette. It's just like, I'm just going to have one. Can I just get one off you? That's it. That's all I want. Then it's like, I'll just get a pack. I'll get one pack and I'll be done. I'll never smoke again. And next thing you know, you're picking up where you left off. Some more photos. Okay. Bobo Sister says, what is your review of China Air? The plane, the crew, the food, everything was cool. Everything was groovy. It was good. The only problem was that 4-hour delay and everybody's flight getting canceled and the chaos in immigration at Shanghai. It was Shanghai was insane. It was insane. Absolutely insane. But as for the plane and the crew and the customer service, the flight attendants and stuff, they were all great. Ipe Bray says, what website did you get your airfare on? I use Skyscanner. Because you can look like 7 days before, 7 days after, and they do that grid with all the different prices in it, and it notes the most expensive and the least expensive. And that's what I used. And I come back to the U.S. every year, so I don't want to be spending, $1,500, $1,600 just on airfare. James Sutowitz says, I love A&A, best food and super sexy helpers. Okay. Sasha says, with all due respect, he isn't going to say where in Florida he is located. I'm in Central Florida. I'm in retirement heaven, man. This is like where everybody goes. It's like living on a giant golf course. Oscar says, hi Ned, I see you survived China Air like you. I'm back in Florida enjoying a beautiful afternoon. Came back to take care of some business and get LASIK eye surgery. Should be back in June. Back in June when it starts getting hot here. Yep, we survived, man. We're survivors. We're survivors. I'm not going to say that other vlogger's name, but it was so surreal seeing him on the flight. And his connecting flight was actually an hour earlier than mine. Yeah, it's a budget airline, China Eastern. And just don't get those immigration officers riled up. Don't get them crazy. All right, that's basically it. I'm going to be putting up some. I've actually put them up, but I haven't published them yet. Just some old footage, some B-roll that I did over the last 5 years. I'll be putting that up, and so I'll be doing that. I'm also trying to put together an interview. I want to get an interview with Ben Ives over at Rapid Visa. I got to contact him, and also with one of the Sabanal sisters, who is in Wisconsin or Minnesota, one of those states, and talk to her more about her experiences transitioning from the Philippines to the United States of America. Go Bobo Sister says JFK to Manila 800 in May, Korean Air. Yeah, man, Korean Air is freaking nice. And unfortunately I just wasn't able to afford it this year. Well, not afford it, it's just I don't want to spend that amount of money when I can get it half price and go on a true adventure. Yeah. Raymond Mack says, your girl came back with you? I don't have a girl. She's her own girl. And no, she is not here. Fellow Traveler says, Google Flights gives you good comparison on flights. Yes, it does. That's another good one. Searching for flights is a pain in the ass. Again, back to first world problems, right? The vast majority of people in the world don't even get the opportunity to step on a plane or travel outside of their freaking neighborhood. And here I am. Here we are complaining about the cost of international flights. First world problems. Hello, Mario. Hello. Jesse Cruz says, my girlfriend is from Pagadian and looking into Dumaguete. Dumaguete is a great town. I really like Dumaguete. It's not too big, it's not too small. We got Eastoria, we got Lord Byron's, we got Eastoria and Lord Byron's. And we have food now, so it's good. Jason Evans is at Mabinai Springs. I broke my back in Mabinai. Screw you, Mabinai. Ipe Bray says, I'm in Dumaguete, seen you around several times. Have a great stay back in the U.S. Don't forget to enjoy pizza and all. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Fellow traveler, hey. James Harris says, what's the bear airlines to take to the Philippines? I don't think they allow bears on planes. Unless it's one of these service animals. Yeah, these service animals are big, man. These helper animals like chihuahuas and, I don't know, bears, I guess. It's getting kind of crazy. I don't know how I feel about that. All right. George Fair, hello from Toledo, Ohio. Thank you all for listening. Hope all is well with you. All is well here. I'm enjoying my time with my family and seeing them. And I'm just chilling, I'm chillaxing, trying to get some sundry work done. And until I see you again, take care. This is Ned. Sasha, I fly either Korean Air or Philippine. Yeah, both good. Yeah. Until next time, I will see you later. Be well, keep dreaming. Just like these two ladies are dreaming on the wall here, and this girl with the ice cream. Peace out. Bye.